In a dramatic turn of events following a deeply disappointing Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, seven-time world champion Lewis Hamilton has made a brutally honest and shocking admission that has sent shockwaves through the Formula One world, confessing that he feels like he needs a brain transplant just to understand and drive Ferrari's SF25. Team Principal Frederic Vasseur did not sugarcoat the situation either, emphasizing that Hamilton's adaptation to the Ferrari is not progressing as hoped and warning that time is running out rapidly. Sources close to Maranello report that the internal discussions have become noticeably more urgent, the patience thinner, and the concern deeper, suggesting that this is no longer viewed as an early season adjustment phase but the emergence of a full-blown crisis of performance. Ferrari's leadership, famous for its zero-tolerance culture, is said to be increasingly restless with the lack of results, setting the stage for a period of intense scrutiny on both Hamilton and the team's decision-makers. After raising Ferrari fans' hopes with a stunning sprint race victory from pole position in Shanghai, expectations were sky-high that Hamilton had finally found his groove with the SF25. Instead, the Saudi Arabian weekend delivered a bitter dose of reality. Despite narrowly scraping into Q3, Hamilton once again lagged alarmingly behind teammate Charles Leclerc by over half a second. What once could have been dismissed as teething problems is now solidifying into an undeniable trend. Analysts and insiders alike are beginning to wonder aloud whether Hamilton's driving style and Ferrari's current car philosophy are fundamentally misaligned, creating not just a temporary struggle, but the specter of a season-long disconnect that could tarnish the aspiration both sides held at the start of this landmark partnership. The depth of Hamilton's current struggle became even more apparent during an unusually candid media appearance after qualifying, where he refrained from the usual technical jargon and instead offered a raw assessment. He simply doesn't know how to drive the car fast. The talk of needing a brain transplant may have been delivered with a hint of a smile, but the emotion behind it was unmistakable, a rare glimpse into a legend's growing frustration. Hamilton admitted to losing crucial tenths in both the first and second sectors and described his final Q3 run as one of the worst laps he's ever produced, signaling a profound and painful loss of confidence behind the wheel. Such an admission from a driver who once redefined excellence in Formula One. Qualifying sends an unmistakable signal that the problem is no longer mechanical alone. It's deeply psychological, in a rare public acknowledgement that intensified the sense of crisis. Hamilton admitted that it isn't just the fans or the media who are dissatisfied. The entire Ferrari organization, from the engineers to the executives, is unhappy with the current situation. Such a triple-layered pressure cooker is something Hamilton has faced before, but the environment at Ferrari is historically less forgiving than at Mercedes or McLaren. Every session, every lap, and every interview now feels like an audition. For Hamilton, with the burden of expectation heavier than ever and the margin for error growing ever slimmer, if the pressure doesn't ease soon, tensions could spill over in ways that would destabilize not just Hamilton's season, but Ferrari's entire 2025 campaign. Frederic Vasseur, while maintaining a publicly diplomatic tone, made the team's position unmistakably clear. Lewis Hamilton must adapt, and he must do so immediately, unlike Mercedes, where Hamilton was given latitude to help shape the team around his preferences. Ferrari offers no such comfort. At Ferrari, results are the only currency that matters, and so far, Hamilton's performance is not meeting expectations. He has not outqualified or outraced Charles Leclerc once this season, and while the points gap remains close, the psychological gap, the vital sense of momentum and confidence, has shifted dramatically in Leclerc's favor. Ferrari demands winners, not project drivers, and the urgency in Vasseur's words suggests that Hamilton's grace period may already be expired. Technically, the SF25 is proving to be Hamilton's most stubborn adversary in years. The legendary braking precision and corner entry mastery that define his dominance are being blunted by a car that offers unpredictable behavior at critical moments. Despite a series of upgrades aimed at improving floor stability and rear-end grip, Hamilton reports feeling like he must relearn the car each and every weekend. The SF25 continues to oversteer when it should stick, understeer when it should pivot, and offers such little feedback that Hamilton is often left guessing, rather than driving with certainty. This kind of unstable platform is a nightmare for a precision driver and threatens to magnify every mistake, chipping away at Hamilton's ability to build consistency weekend after weekend. Perhaps even more concerning is the growing sense that Hamilton's very racing identity built on rhythm, adaptability, and supreme car control is being eroded by his struggles with the SF-5. Every interview, every radio call, and every on-track decision now bears the hallmarks of a driver out of sync with his machinery. For a competitor who has spent his career mastering the art of extracting 100% from any car in any condition, the idea that Hamilton is being reduced to improvising lap by lap is both deeply unsettling and highly damaging to his confidence. And in a sport as ruthlessly psychological as Formula One, once confidence begins to crack, the downward spiral can accelerate frighteningly fast. The stakes surrounding Hamilton's struggles are massive not just for him, but for Ferrari as an institution. Ferrari's decision to sign Hamilton was about far more than winning a few races. It was a statement of intent, a belief that one of the greatest drivers of all time could bring championship pedigree back to Maranello. If that vision unravels, the consequences could ripple across every layer of the organization, calling into question the decisions of top leadership and undermining the team's momentum at a time when the competition at the front of the grid is fiercer than ever. The risk of the Hamilton-Ferrari partnership turning into a high-profile failure story is real, and the clock is ticking to prevent it. Looking ahead to Sunday's race in Jeddah, Hamilton's P7 starting position is a disappointment relative to Ferrari's aspiration. While Jeddah's fast and chaotic nature often creates opportunities for savvy drivers, Hamilton's current lack of confidence in the SF-25's behavior under duress casts a shadow over any hopes of a comeback drive. The Ferrari has consistently struggled in traffic, particularly with tire overheating and turbulent air management, making it an unreliable weapon in the midfield battles that Hamilton will now be forced to navigate. Every lap could present new challenges, and even the safety car periods that often reset the running order at Jeddah may offer little salvation if Hamilton cannot trust the car to deliver when it matters most. And so, as Ferrari and Hamilton stand at this critical crossroads, the central question becomes even sharper. Can Lewis Hamilton, with all his championship grit and race-winning pedigree, adapt to the SF-25's peculiar demands quickly enough to save this ambitious project? His history says yes, Hamilton has weathered greater storms than most drivers could even imagine. But the circumstances at Ferrari are uniquely unforgiving, with little room for error, few avenues for quick car improvements, and immense global scrutiny. Hamilton faces a career-defining challenge that will test not just his talent, but his resilience, patience, and willingness to reinvent himself once again. Whether this chapter ends in redemption or regret remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, the world will be watching every step of the way.